Today we have a Dell that is turning on, but there is nothing on the screen. When you press the power button, you do get the power LED on the power button, but there is nothing on the screen. Okay, after connecting the charger, you get the lights and the battery is flashing. There is no caps lock. When you press the caps lock, meaning the machine is not booting up. As usual, when there is no display or the machine is not booting up, you have to do the basic. So what you do, you change the RAM. Go ahead and then you change the RAM. You have to do the basic first. What I did was I changed the RAM, I changed the slot. I didn't change the RAM, but I just changed the slot and I connected the power again, the charger, and then press the power button. Still, there was nothing on the screen. The machine was still doing exactly the same thing, powering up, and then after some few seconds, the machine will turn off. The power button LED will normally go away, leaving you with no display, with a blank machine. Alright, guys, I tried and I tried several times, but the machine was still doing the same thing. So, what I did was I tried different RAMs, connected plenty of RAM, swiping them one way, hoping that I was gonna get the display, but the machine was still doing the same thing. I even removed the CMOS battery. So what you do, you remove the CMOS battery connector, because the one here is the one with a wire with a cord, and then you short the connectors negative and positive. You hold there for 60 seconds, but still the laptop was doing exactly the same thing. I even went to my RAMs where I keep a bunch of my RAMs. I took plenty as possible, more than 10. I tried them one by one, but still the machine was doing the same thing. I tried the several number of RAMs, but still, as you can see, how many RAMs I tried, but still, I was like, nah, this is taking a lot of my times and a lot of my time, and it's clear that the issue on this machine was not the RAM. But even though I was very stubborn and I was convinced that the issue might be the RAM, normally I do basic first. Always do the basic first when diagnosing a machine. Don't rush and then change the parts. Now you are fixing the board, you are removing the ICs one by one. You know, you can't do that. So what you do, you start with the basic. You need to diagnose the machine. You need to be like almost sure on what is wrong with the machine, and the only way to do that, you have to be able to diagnose the machine proper without any rush. Okay, so I was like, no, guys, I have concluded the issue on this machine. It's not the RAM, so it means I have to try something else because it's not what, it's not the RAM. I took my multimeter, as always. This is my gun. I use this to fix many laptops, so I use the multimeter. We have to know what is going on. Started on the RAM, and I checked if there was any voltages on the RAM, and there we go, there was 1.35 volts. 1.35 volts is for a low voltage RAM. It means the RAM was working fine. I even touched the CPU with my hand. You have to feel the CPU whether it was getting hot or not. That's very, very, very important. And the CPU was getting warm a little bit, and I was very, very, very happy with that, because that would mean there was a life on the CPU. There is life on the CPU. So what you do, I checked the 3.3 on the BIOS, and there was the 3.3 volts on the BIOS. I was like, okay, fine. So as you do, there is a dot there on the BIOS. Opposite to a dot is pin number 8. Pin number 8 is where the chip received the power. As I was checking there was power on the BIOS going straight into a BIOS chip. That's where you check for the 3.3. Alright guys, anyway, this was serious. So what I did, I went to a Chrome, and then from Chrome you type the board number. Okay, the reason why I was doing this, I was typing the board number, is because I noticed that the issue was not the RAM. It's got nothing to do with the RAM, but it's got to do with the BIOS. I have to make sure that the BIOS was working 100%. So what you do is you open your Chrome the way I did. You type the board number. The board number is found on the motherboard. It's normally written in white, or it's under the RAM, but you'll see around there will be a board number. You write down those long numbers there with some weight, combine everything, and you write the revision. You write everything, and then make sure when you get the results, you go to a bed capacitor forum. That's where you will have people telling you that the file is working 100%. They've used the same dump, so you have to download the dump. Okay, so what I did was I downloaded the dump, and then once you have the dump, what you do is you can open a new, normally I open a new folder, and then I save the dump with the board number. Okay, once the file has been downloaded, you can drag and drop that dump file, that bin file, on the folder you created on the desktop. That's where you save your old backup, and then save your new file. Anyway, guys, this is easy. You can do it your way around, but I'm just giving you my idea on how I do things. Okay, as you can see on my downloads, I have the file, so I just need to refresh. There we go. There we go. Now you can open the file. Normally, the file that you download on Bedcaps, they will be compressed. So you just drag the folder out of compression. Just drag it out, and then you put it inside your new folder, the one that you created on your desktop. As you can see, I have two files there, and on my BIOS, when you check the board, it's got two chips. Okay, the one is smaller one, the one is bigger one. The smaller one is AC, the bigger one is the main BIOS. It's two files. So please. The Dell laptops, they don't save any EC on the EC, but they have their chip, I mean the BIOS chip, saving the embedded chip pin files for them. So that's why normally Dells, they come with two BIOS, but don't get confused. One is the EC and the other one is the main EC, guys. This is easy, trust me. Let me show you. Let's switch into a macroscope. This is the macroscope that I use. Oh, let me zoom in. Let me show you those two BIOS chips. I will program one by one, and if it happens that's on this video, I'll show you exactly how to program the BIOS. It's easy. I got plenty and tons of videos where I talk about how to program the BIOS. See, as you can see, it's two BIOS chips. U2. The other one is U1 or something. I can't remember, but this one is U2. So you program them one by one. You can start with any chip. It doesn't matter. Apply your heat, and then you pull the chip out. So what I did here, I didn't open the entire machine. You have to be very careful because you can end up bending the chassis. But if you're more advanced, you can do it. You can remove the BIOS just like I did without removing the entire motherboard out of the chassis. Anyway, this is for advanced users, but it's easy anyway, guys. I don't wanna lie to you. So you saw me removing the chip. So check out your programmer. That the tiny chip there that I just removed from the motherboard. Put it inside my programmer adapter. Okay, obvious there is a proper way orientation on how you align the chip, but that is, guys, those dots on the chips, they represent pin number one, and the orientation as well. Program that I use is called the Neo Programmer. I use this application to program the BIOSes. Okay, or the read and write, starts everything, confirm, starts everything. You just have to wait for it to load the files, load the file, as you can see, also loading the files. After that, okay, let's go back. You put back the chip once the application is done programming and confirming. What you do, you put the chip. If you can check carefully there, you will see that the chip has a dot, and then on the board there's a white dot on your left hand side. Those two dots must align. That's your alignment. So the dots on the board, the white dot on the motherboard, and that round dots on the chip, they are guiding you. It's for alignment. So once the chip is fine, you just press it a little bit with the tweezers. Then what I did was I moved into a next chip, did the same thing to it. I removed the chip using a heat gun, of course. Apply some heat, and then you pull out the chip. Then you do the same thing. You put it on your programmer. Remove the IC, and you put it on your programmer. Be careful not to knock out those tiny resistors. Be very careful. Put your chip there, and then the whole process begins, where you read the chip, you save the old BIOS pin file. That's very, very important. Once you have saved it, then you erase the chip, and then you load the new dump file, the one that you got from the internet. Guys, you put back everything, align back the chip. Okay, you can see my chip wasn't 100% aligned, but I don't care. Oh, there we go. I did it perfectly fine. You can put some flags if you want to, but I don't really put flags when I'm soldering such chips with tiny pins. It's easy, unless if I'm doing a tiny chip, but this one is too big. I mean, and then I was done, but that section there was hot. So what I did, I took my spray that I used to clean the motherboard and I sprayed there to cool it down because I was rushing to get what? To get the results. As you can see, spraying what? Spraying the motherboard. And you won't believe what happened after this. I'm telling you. There I was, and there it was, working 100%. Anyway, I'm gonna see you next time, guys. The client took the machine never came back ever since. Guys, anyway, I have to put back the client for RAM. Remember, it was sitting on the battery, on top of the battery, and I took out my RAMs. Anyway, I will see you next time. But you know what? There's one important thing. Don't forget to subscribe for more of this content. Anyway, thank you for your support. And if you like this video, you can go ahead and press the like button. Press the like button. I will see you next time. Bye bye.